Hello. In this video, we'll learn about design build in a little deep dive, you can say, and compare to design bid build. So we'll have a deeper kind of understanding of design build, still initial because there are more lessons. We'll go over procurement and contracting and execution aspects of design build. But the question here is how much is design build approach is similar to design bid build, and like the answer is here, very little. There are actually really different, and the key here is being the owner is in one contract commitment. So in other delivery methods like design bid build or CMAR, the owner has multiple contracts, but now the owner has one contract with the design builder, and the design and construction teams now are one team and in one direct contractual relationship with the owner. So it kind of more integrated. There is more attitude toward collaboration and teamwork. And also kind of a very streamlined flow of information from concept to through completion. So here there is a lot of transfer of responsibility from the owner to the design build in terms of the provision of the design information and completeness of the design information. So there is this happens when now the owner pushes the design responsibility from their plate, because the design bid, so there is no contractor in the picture yet, and the designer is on the owner's side. But then now the design build are pushed into that design builder entity, and the owner, the expectation is the owner would provide less information for design. They provide more kind of requirements, but not design information. So it's a mindset. It's a mindset from the owner, and it's a mindset from the design builder. So you cannot have a construction person who worked all their life in design bid build and throw them into a design build project. There's a mind shift that need to happen because in design bid build it's more like lack of trust, and contracts were built based on that. But in design build it's about trust and respect and teamwork. So that's here. It's really kind of a mindset, a culture, you can say. And design build comes to help with a lot of things. So currently, no one is happy about how construction industry is run. It's very segregated. No one is happy with the speed of delivering construction projects, and we need to maximize more on the market conditions when the market is high. So you need to adapt quicker to that. And it also, design build helps with innovation, use of technology, BIM, different operational models like lean construction. And that's interesting here. It provides predictability of price much sooner compared to design bid build. So predictability comes sooner. Yes, you have prediction of the costs when you deal with design bid build, but there is always strings attached to that because change orders will hit you, and that typically happens in projects. But in design build, you have predictability that grows until, and that happens earlier because now you have that kind of early integration of the project team. And here it's also providing appropriate risk transfer, and we'll discuss that more when we go into the procurement lessons of design build. And it's all about quality here. So energy efficiency, sustainability, and considering not the immediate cost of the project, but thinking about its durability and life cycle. And that's what's driving innovation here, and tying the project outcome to the performance of the project, not basically the lowest price give me a building that will cost me cheap price now, and I don't think about the future. But with design build, the owner can ask for the future. They want to build a building that satisfies building requirements. And that happens because following that McLeamy time effort concept, and we covered that before in a previous lecture. So the traditional design process, you will not be heavily making detailed design and really getting into coordination of the design that much early in the design, but then you make strategic decisions, and then later you discuss the details and coordinate the design and thinking about the constructability. So the effort grows in the middle, and then it goes down. But in design build, the design process, it's very front loaded. A lot of discussions are like, it's really mind, heavy kind of mental exercises that happen early. A lot of brainstorming about how we can make the outcome of this project better, and that's by integrating the project team earlier in the project. So in here you're shifting left, this mind or mentality shift to the left, to have that intense effort to establish the scope and define and define the design. So it enables that committing to these big decisions early in the project, and people will commit, and the team members will commit to these decisions early in the project, and you're doing all of that within an acceptable cost to the owner. So now for design build, there are actually two main approaches for delivering a design build project. The first one is traditionally procured design build. So here, when the owner and contractor sign a contract in this approach, the price will be written in the contract. That's kind of basically what traditionally procured design build is based on. You need to have a number, a dollar number on the contract when the design builder and the owner sign the contract. So how this happens? So the owner defines the project requirements and scope of some prescriptive work. And we'll learn more about requirements, prescriptive and performance-based, but they will use mainly performance-based requirements here, with limiting that prescriptive specifications. That's the one of the best practices actually, is using more performance-based requirements. But here, this approach depends on two phases. The first phase uses best value procurement. So we'll learn more about that, and also kind of this is an overview. But you will have a first kind of request for qualifications, and you will select kind of shortlisting the design builders, and then you will focus on 2 or 3 of them who will provide a proposal with a dollar number attached to this proposal. So in the proposal, they will decide on the major design parameters, they will decide on the project team, and they will commit to a number. So it's a little risky here, but this is predominant approach in public sector, because still public sector, they know the value of design build, but still they want to, that procurement based on lowest price or fixed price is still there. So that's the traditionally procure design build, that they wanna, when they sign a contract with a design builder, it's contractual procurement kind of mentality still of the public sector, is when I sign this contract, I want to have a number on a dollar number on the contract. So the key issues here, the procurement is governed by this fixed lump sum that I want to see in when I sign the contract, and also identification of the project requirements. The owner here needs to decide what's appropriate level of detail in the RFP, because the builders need some kind of good number or amount of information to be able to commit to a number, a fixed value, when they submit the proposal. And also drafting effective performance specifications. So kind of not leaving it to be very loose. So you have wild numbers coming in and estimates for the proposals. So being careful about drafting this performance specifications. And also now on the design builder side, how much details I should put and invest in the proposals that I submit. Proposals cost a lot of money to develop and to come up with design concepts. So how much effort should I put in? It's just money that I throw into proposal, and who knows I'll get the project or not. So and the key thing here, of course, at the design build, you have to commit to that mental shift to the left. So the design builder need to work together now as a one team to propose that, to propose or respond to the request for proposals, and they need to make that mental shift. The second approach, so there's the traditionally procured design build. There's now the progressive design build. So here the difference is design and price are progressively developed. So after the design builder is under contract. So here the design builder gets into contract with the owner without really specifying the price and without the owner requesting design at this point. It's just a contract to commit to each other that will progress through the design and commit to the price later. So the design builder here is retained early, really early in the project life. And here, because you don't have design information, you don't have proposal for designs, and what you select, how you select design builders is mainly primary based on qualifications. So you select primarily on qualifications. You don't have any design concepts. It just, this is a qualified design builder who will deliver a good project at the end. And then the design progress, there's a progress in design with the design builder. And then at some point, the design builder will commit to a cost and schedule. And that will be the second phase of that progressive design build. So there are two phases here: preliminary services and final design and construction. So in preliminary services, again, design builder here will get into contract with the owner based on basis of design. Like they will get into a contract for a hospital with the understanding that yes, we are building a hospital for this number of beds for in this location. So there's basis of design that doesn't require a lot of writing. We know that we are building this building with that kind of requirements, very rough requirements. And then there is advancing process now into the design. Over that progressive kind of build-up of the design, you imagine you're putting the skeleton, you're putting the flesh and the skin, kind of imagine that formation of the design. While you do that, every point of time you're updating the owner on the cost. So there is that update on the cost. And then at some point, when both parties feel confident about the cost and the certainty for the cost, they will go into phase 2, which is called the final design and construction. So they will negotiate now a guaranteed maximum price to go into final design and construction. Now there might be a case that after all of this time, the design builder and the owner will not agree on the final design and construction phase. And in this case, there should be an off-ramp kind of approach or process. So the design builder will depart, and you will just say, that's it. Good luck, Mr. Owner, with proceeding with the project. So there's a lot of details that need to be settled in that off-ramping kind of process. So going back to best practices DBIA, here this is best practice 2B. So the owner should use procurement process that encourages early participation of key trade contractors. So we keep saying design builder. But remember, design builder is not kind of a one person, one company. It's a team, and the team is really dependent on key trade contractors here. And here, best practices call for involvement of these trade contractors, subcontractors early in the project. They're most knowledgeable about construction methods. They are the most valuable. Their input is very valuable for the sake of innovation and design. And that's proven by a lot of industry research studies. So in progressive design, the owner here will have the say of how these subcontractors will be involved and integrated into the team in a progressive way. So that can be done during the proposal time or during the design development. Some owners even require that these subcontractors will be selected primarily based on price. So yes, they select the design builder based on qualifications, but subcontractors will be selected based on price. For traditionally procured design build, when they sign the contract, the team should be complete. So when you submit the proposal, the team behind you should be complete. You should have the key trade subcontractors in the team when you sign the contract. So this is how different design build is from design bid build. We learn about the benefit of it, the mentality shift toward the left, meaning that you have a lot of involvement of design and construction participants early in the project. And we learn about the two main approaches for design build. There's the traditionally procured design build and progressive design build. And we'll learn more about them in detail in the next lessons. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in other videos. Take care.